Good morning, pioneers. Good morning, pioneers. Yes. So, okay, first of all, make sure volume is okay. If you have any concerns about volume, let us know. Team in the back who can adjust the volume as needed. We'll make sure you hear everything. So, welcome to the fall 2023 semester. We are about to welcome the latest group of pioneers, those returning and new, starting next Monday. And I could not be more pleased to serve as your president and colleague in this journey. So those who don't know me, I'm Michael Anthony. I'm the president of Prairie State. I was answering a question earlier from some of our colleagues. I started in July of 2019. I don't know if there's some kind of trivia game going on or something else, but there you go. So as we get started, let's help out one of our colleagues here. So Oshunda, where are you? Raise your hand up. There she is. She lost her earbud. I know, right? Everybody say, oh. So it's a Jabra. It's black, correct? It's a black Jabra. So y'all look around your feet. Keep a lookout, please. Y'all know how frustrating and panicky that is. So if you see it, it's a little black earbud. Let her know so we can get started. So she can get her plugged back in. So back in March of 2022, I'm sorry, there's nothing on the screen. I'm sorry. There we go. So back in March of 2022, we had an all-college meeting. Y'all remember that? Somebody remember that? It was 3 hours long. It was 3 hours long. We were just too excited to share. We will not be doing that again. That will not happen today. Don't worry. Some of y'all already made an exit strategy in your head. Like, if this runs long, I'm sneaking out that door. That's fine. You're not going to have to do that. I promise. That won't happen again. But we talked a lot about, I kind of start talking about pioneering a new future. Pioneering the future. If you don't know, welcome to Prairie State. Our mascot is the Pioneers. And we want to really lean into this idea of being bold and being risk takers and being courageous as we go into kind of an unknown and uncertain future, which we're in, right? That's what we're doing now. So we want to think about that together and think about that kind of phrase of pioneer. So you'll see that language up a lot. I also talked about throwing out an old playbook and creating a new one. Right? What this old playbook is kind of not our values and our traditions, but practices that may not serve us well in the future. It may not serve our students well in the future. So I want to use this convocation. Any of our fall gatherings like this, they'll kind of follow this tempo. We'll do some assessment of how this went, and you'll let us know if you want to see something different. But our idea is to have an opportunity for us to come together, break bread, get to know each other, sit with each other, build community, but also to reflect on our accomplishments. And then we want to move forward with a spirit of positivity and possibility, right? So that's the idea. We're not here just to give a bunch of updates per se, but the nature of updates are really going to help you remember and think through the greatness that has happened over the last year plus, okay? Because it's important to remember that. So I take time with the cabinet and with other people I interact with on the college campus to just remind you how long we've been at this post-pandemic. So think about it. What was the first normal semester? We try to call it a normal semester start. Do you remember? What was the first normal? Fall 22. Excellent. Right. Normal is like laughable now, but fall 22. Y'all, that was just 12 months ago. Right? It was about 6 terms. We had about 6 terms of interruption from the pandemic in spring 2020. And I want you to understand that not much time has passed since we've gotten back to what we consider trying to be a normal pace, right? We opened up class caps again. We kind of came back to campus. Offices kind of opened the way they're supposed to. That was just 1 year ago. And it feels like we've been back at this for a long time, but we haven't. And I want to remind you of that because the things you've accomplished in that time are significant. So our next 45 minutes or so is really going to remind you of all the good going on. I find that I get to hear so many things day to day about what's going on, and I talk to some of you, and you think, like, I didn't know we were doing that, or I had no idea. Or maybe you think we're kind of standing still, and it's demoralizing, but it's not, and we're not standing still. And so we're going to talk about today is just kind of highlighting some of the things, and also get to know some folks in the room who are here. So first things first, we'll do some staffing updates. So I'm going to invite Dr. Charmaine Sevier to the stage to give us our new employees since January of 2023. Y'all give it up for Charmaine.
A lot has happened since January of '23, but even more has happened since the last time we were together in March of 2022. I don't even remember who I am. So, you will see that we have a list of new employees since January of 2023. They're listed by months in which they joined the institution. I'm going to tell you in advance, if you do not see your name as we go through the list, please come and see me later. Because again, I don't know who I am. I am really trying very hard to pull up everybody's information who has joined us. So we have had Lorena Diaz join us. If you are in the audience, can you kind of wave a little bit? Okay. Sharice Greer? Sharice?
Oh, she's taking care of business.
Taking care of food.
All right.
Dr. Little has joined us since January.
No, don't say that. I want you to stand up when your name's called. So if you're here in the room, go ahead and stand up so everybody can see you. Stay standing until we finish. So everybody can look out pretty good. Hey, there it is. He's going to sit back down again. Look at him.
Jennifer Forbes. I think I saw Jennifer in the audience.
Who's that?
She's doing her wave. Officer Brotnick might not be in the building today. Elijah Leak, somewhere. Okay. Lisa Porter.
She's in the back there.
In the back.
Everybody look at her. There you go.
Kathy Madsen.
Kathy.
I am only going to say Matilda.
Where is Matilda?
Thank you, Matilda. She's sitting
Hey,
in the
Matilda.
front over there. We have Charles, or Chip.
Hey, Chip.
It's right there. Joanna, she's our new manager of online learning. I see you. Kathy is our new CFO. She might not have joined. Is she here? Oh, she's here.
There she is.
Andy, some of you may remember Andy. She was here previously, and then she has joined us in a full-time capacity in the president's office. She might be in the hall. Gerald Martin is our CIO from Campus Works. Dr. Benanti, or Andy, Dean of Allied Health. April Murray is our administrative assistant in ITR. Welcome, welcome, welcome. She knows why I'm saying that, because there were some things that I had to do for ITR that I am not equipped to do. Welcome. Lorraine Smith. Are you here, Lorraine? Hey, Lorraine, yay. Patrick Sweeten is a new police officer. I'm not sure if he is on shift today. He's outside. Adrian Watson, lab assistant for nursing. Dr. Desiree Anderson, our new dean of equity and inclusion. She literally just joined us. So these people in August came in like August 7th. So there's going to be a scavenger hunt that we're going to have them do later to see what they know. Jordan Ferguson. David Lux is a new officer that went from part-time to full-time. And we have new faculty that has joined us for the fall. Woohoo! I had the pleasure of sitting with these new faculty members to go through new faculty orientation yesterday. I'm sorry. I think we got through it. Dr. Arparna, are you here? I'm not gonna, yes. Jessica. Woo! Dr. Washington. It should be Washington. I'm sorry, not Watson. It should be Washington. Diane Anderson. And then this one is new, but not really new. Right. Chad. So again, welcome everyone to Prairie State since January of 2023. Cassandra from the finance department. My apologies, again, come see me, right? Welcome to Prairie State College. We hope that your stay has been a good one, and we hope that you stay for many, many years to come. Thank you.
We've also had a number of folks who are in new roles at the college. So if you've taken a new role in the college in, say, the last 6 months, 8 months since January, if you've taken a new role at the college since January, can you stand up for us so we can see you and praise you for your new roles that you're doing? Stand up. Look at that. Look at that. There you go. There you go. There you go. Yes. Sit down, Elijah. Y'all sit down. Sit down. Elijah standing up like he in a new role. That's your delusion, Elijah. That's what that is. I want to recognize that because, again, we are trying to take care of and support you in your professional growth. And that may mean you're moving somewhere in the institution, and we want to praise that and be excited about that. So congratulations on your new role. If you're interested in what those new roles are and you saw them stand up, I want you to go talk to them and ask them what they're doing now, right? So I'm going to go through each of our divisions. So I look at the college in like 5 different kind of divisions, right? So you have our president's office and some of my direct reports, right? Which includes all of our cabinet members. But we also have our division of student affairs, our division of academic affairs. We have a new administrative services division, and then our external affairs division, right? And so I'll talk about these different areas as we go through and try to get some highlights. And then we'll kind of wrap up after that. So if you have questions as we're going through this, if you have thoughts about things, I'm going to ask folks to kind of stand if they're in parts of different divisions so that you can see them. Go talk to them. I don't need to be the answer for those questions. You should talk to your colleagues about it. So if you're one of these areas within the president's office, can you stand up? All the folks in finance, human resources, IT, institutional advancement, the foundation, and institutional effectiveness. Can you stand up for us if you're in one of those areas? There we go. Yeah, sometimes you see folks and think like, where do they work? Who are they? Yeah, so you can put some names to faces. So let me go through this. Within the finance and business area, we've been really excited about the number of changes brought on. So, in January, we brought Dr. Judy Mitchell, President Emerita of Joliet Junior College. We brought her in to kind of help us level set our finance and business services. And she did so with gusto. Very thankful for the service she provided to college. Her departure was at the end of July, and we welcomed our new CFO, Kathy Sutnoff, and so we're very excited for her arrival. And there's also new personnel updates happening in that area, some shifts in processes and procedures. The main lift for us are internally getting our house in order, right? It's important that we're making deadlines at the state level. It's important that we have clear processes and procedures at the college. And it's important we do some education, right? So you're going to see some additions to it. They have a new intranet page. Finance area has a new intranet page where you can kind of access some of the procurement policies and procedures, some of the purchasing guidelines to help you better make some decisions and go through the process as you're finishing these things. So that's been important. Of course, Cassandra is one of our new managers there and very important piece of that accounting puzzle. We're also building a grant infrastructure, right? So ever since 2022 with the changes from President Winfrey, there have been we're trying to play with the grants area to figure out how that best serves the college. And so expect some more developments as we get the grants area under control. We have a lot of money that comes in from grants, right? And so we want to make sure we're supporting the divisions as they're trying to do these grants and remain compliant. So that's important. There is make sure I don't go over my notes here. Okay, good. Next, of course, is human resources. I've been very, very pleased to see what most of you have experienced as new employees or new to your role employees is an orientation process and a kind of cohort model as we bring in new employees, which is different. My time at the college when I came in, and I was a vice president when I began in 19, was not great. It was not great. My manager at the time, my supervisor, the president, was on leave. And there were other issues with knowing where to go, and I felt kind of isolated. I started with Chief Martin, the chief of police, And so the only reason I knew him is because we keep getting each other's email. So he's Anthony Martin, and I'm Michael Anthony, and we get each other's email all the time. So that's how I knew the chief. But we have a new cohort model, and I think that's really exciting. We're also in the process of updating equipment to better serve our students in regards to the ID and the Welcome Center. So some new equipment is coming down that way for us. And then expect additional opportunities for employee engagement. So between my office, the Marketing Communications Division, and HR, I'm committed to making sure we do more of time with us to kind of help the morale, help the spirit of being a pioneer. That goes from monthly celebrations of anniversaries as we return to that process. It goes to our retirement celebrations and our holiday celebrations. It goes to events like this, right? We know that the college wants to be engaged with each other, and this should be a really joyous place for you to work. And so HR is thinking hard about that. ITR. So as you know, I'm committed to making sure we have a top-notch kind of world-class ITR experience here for our students and for employees, right? And we're in the process of building that, right, and continuing to work on that. There have been classroom technology updates, so faculty, as you start returning to the classroom, please let us know how that's going. We've gotten some positive feedback last year as we switched some things up, but new equipment is being installed, of course. Educational devices within the classroom so you can know how to use the equipment are being monitored and deployed as well. D2L was integrated with Colleague, right, which is a big deal, resulting in system improvements that make for better student experience. So once the term is activated, the system automatically creates the D2L course shell, right? And then sections are created in Colleague and populates with the students. That process used to take a day or more to do, and now it takes about an hour, so that's a good thing. Also, the long-awaited institutional dashboard. We've been looking for a data dashboard and how to implement that process for a very long time. I think Prairie State was behind when I arrived as vice president for student affairs and institutional effectiveness. I knew we needed a dashboard. Now, of course, pandemic interrupts all, we know that, but there was always a kind of slow march to trying to get this set up. A proof of concept was launched last semester, and we are proud to say we have a dashboard that we'll begin to unload and start to work with our employees about how to use and make good decisions with data. So that's an important step for that. Let me invite up Deb Havikhorst to talk about the foundation. So y'all give it up for Deb. Got this up here too, if you want it.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to be here, great to see so many familiar faces, great to see so many new faces. When you came in, Susan was passing out the new employee giving forms, and those can be used for payroll deduction, or they can be used for a one-time donation with cash, credit card, check, what have you. We were really on a roll pre-COVID with our employee giving. We had grown by leaps and bounds, and it was really exciting. And then, we had COVID, and so that is just one of many things that's kind of dropped. But we are working to bring that out into the front and center again. The importance is not to get funding from our employees in any way, shape, or form. What I want to be able to do is go out in the community and say, our employees give back to the students at the college because they believe in what the college does. They believe in supporting students. They believe in the mission. So you can do a $1 donation per paycheck. You can give me $1 a year. I get to count you as employee giving. You give whatever you're comfortable with, and whatever fund you want to give it to. You can always donate to the general fund, or there is on the back of your form all of these other funds that you can donate to. Currently, our giving rate total is around 25%. I'm challenging you, and Dr. Anthony said we are supposed to be bold and courageous, so I'm going to be bold and courageous right now. I'm challenging us to raise that to 50% by the end of the semester. I'm also challenging administrators and managers to reach 100%. So this is bold, this is courageous, but I hope you will take that step with me. I am wearing jeans today, which is not something I would normally do to get up on a stage and talk to people. But as a reminder, Fridays are jeans days. In the summer, it's Thursdays. We have a calendar that Susan can resend that has all of the dates on it. It's $1 per jeans day. Wear jeans. Tell students when you see them, I'm wearing jeans to raise money for your scholarships. Let's see. Okay, so if we can get to a point where all of our employees are giving, that's so huge. I will put it on every single thing that is produced for the foundation. I will request a press release from Markcom because it is such a huge thing to brag about. So let's work on getting there. Dr. Anthony asked me to remind you of some of the successes we've had since the last convocation. I usually share a story about a student, and I could stand here literally all day and talk about all of the applications we've received in 2023. But to give you just a few examples, there's a student who is the oldest daughter with many younger siblings. Her very large family lives in an attic with their mother, and mom works to make a different variation of potatoes every day to nourish her family and keep them interested in eating this economical food. An 18-year-old young woman who watches her mother struggle to put food on the table is here at Prairie State College so she can earn a degree and help contribute to the household because her mother has helped her all of these years, as if mothers don't take care of their children normally for 18 years. Just amazing. A 19-year-old young man who left his family and emigrated from South America alone to make a better life for himself. He is so proud of learning a second language, and he even donates books back to the Foundation's Bookshare program because he wants to give back to those who have given so generously to him. One day he called Susan mom instead of ma'am, got real embarrassed. It nearly broke Susan's heart. He's such a great young man. We have another 19-year-old man who is working hard to break the cycle of incarceration, his words, and he is succeeding with a 3.54 GPA. So the foundation's doing good work, but all of these students are succeeding because of every single person in this room. And I always feel bad that Susan and I get to be the ones to read all of the stories and get all of those warm fuzzies. We spoke with the scholarship committee from the foundation this summer, and we want to open it up. Any employee who is interested in volunteering to read applications and rate them for us, we would love you to join us. And you can let Susan know by November 1st, and we'll, of course, send a reminder. The more people we have, the less time it takes. Each application takes maybe 10 to 15 minutes, but you walk away after a session of reading these letters feeling like you're making a difference every single day. So currently, for the fall semester, we've received 210 submitted applications with a total of 278 that have been started, so 68 are still in draft. I believe last fall we had 302 applications, and I'm sure we will reach that number. Susan has contacted the first 100 students and hopes to contact the next 112 by next week. We will, like I said, receive more applications. Susan has worked to make this process as efficient as possible. But at the end of the day, there are only 2 of us in the office, and we can only do as much as we can do. We will have students stop by to see us next week who just want to borrow a book. And just to explain, in order to continue to keep our return process at the high percentage it's at. We have 99% success rate in getting all the books back that we loan out. And more importantly, to make sure that the process is fair and equitable and students aren't jumping the line, so to speak, they have to complete an application and we have to do them in the order that we receive them. The application has been trimmed down again. Susan's always working to improve it. This year, we're only asking for one essay, and it's not even called an essay. We just ask the students to tell us their story. I'd like to point out a couple of items on the employee giving form. If you're currently giving through payroll deduction, please fill out another form. We're gonna have you do this annually, so you're in touch with what you're giving to, how much you're giving, and maybe your priorities change over time here. So if you signed up 5 years ago and you're still giving, we want you to take another look at that. We want to confirm. So that is important. We've asked you to print your names because we won't know who they're from otherwise. Let's see. Yeah, unless we get it through email, we won't know who it's from if the names aren't printed. You can choose on here to make a deduction from every pay period, from a few pay periods, from one, whatever. There's a lot of different options. Stop by any time with any questions and we'll explain it. Lastly, if you're not sure where to give, the General Scholarship Fund is a great place to give. That is what I have. Just one more time, it's great to have you back. I can't wait to have the students back and have their energy back on campus. Thank you for everything you do every day that makes me proud to work at Prairie State College. Thanks.
I'm gonna go around to call down the street.
That'd be good. So we had a record-breaking year with scholarships. I'm not sure if she reminded that. I stepped out for a second. More students than ever are applying for scholarships and earning scholarships. It's so important. And I think the goal of 50%, I think is easily attainable. I think 100% is attainable for us. So we do challenge you to do that. And if I need to give you $1 to give to the foundation, let me know. I'm happy to do that just to say we're able to give contributing to our students. Institutional effect, Annette Doff. Annette, stand up. I know you love to be called out, don't you? I hate that. Hi, Annette. Everybody saying hello to Annette. She's our former Dean of Math and Sciences, and now she's over as institutional executive director, institutional effectiveness and accreditation. And let me just tell you, that's one hard-working individual. And I call her out because accreditation is part of the things that keep us as a college functioning. All the things we do could matter not if we're not accredited and we're not sanctioned by the state to operate. I'm happy to report that we had a successful mid-year evaluation. So we have a 10-year cycle of reaffirmation for accreditation. In the midterm of that tier, about 4 or 5 years in, a visit is done, right? We nailed that visit. So that visit happened, and as of maybe a month or so ago, we've been confirmed that we're good to go. We do have a monitoring report, so we have some things within our finance area and some other areas we want to update them on in 2025, but we are well positioned to do so. And I'm very, very confident that the systems we're putting in place are going to get us there just fine. We also were recognized, if you will, by the state. So ICCB does a 5-year self-study, if you will, of every institution, a rigorous process that our vice presidents know well, that we have to go through to collect information and report back to the ICCB in order to continue to function as a state college. We nailed that as well. So we have our affirmation, our recognition for the next 5 years has been secured. So give it up for the folks who put all that information together. It's important. Annette will be working with others to also pull together a data governance committee to really get serious about incorporating data and its usage through our dashboard and through our work in every aspect of the college. That is very important. I'm very excited about that. I think most exciting is our strategic plan. So if you look here, we went through a process in fall 22, the end of the semester there. We wrapped up a new 2023-2027 strategic plan. So those who are new or again, if you're continuing on here at the college, you want our roadmap? Our roadmap is here. It's for us to think about how do we execute the next 4 years in a really intentional way. The process was awesome. I think it was very, very collaborative process to come up with some of our goals, to reframe our mission, our vision. And so you will see this come up a lot. And we hope you find ways to engage in it in your work. There is some ways to get involved with the college that are not just in your department. There are college committees that we hope you engage in. There's a planning committee that's going to be working together to develop implementation strategies for the plan. That's your way to be involved, right? And that's your way to actively contribute back to the college in ways that go beyond your day-to-day job. It's one of the special aspects, I think, of working for higher education. And you'll find that you learn things very differently in those committees, and you build relationships that you would not believe, right? And so we talk sometime about the divisions and silos and things. The only thing between us and creating new relationships is ourselves, right? And so finding ways to engage with others in those spaces outside of your day-to-day creates a powerful kind of effect on you as an employee. So I hope you engage in that. One way you may think about that is the College Council. So since 2020, the College Council has not formed. Again, pandemic interrupted a lot of things, but I consulted with our cabinet leaders, but also the union leadership about, is College Council something we want to resume? And they said yes, and so we are. So starting in September, we'll begin our meetings again as a College Council that meet quarterly this time. It's an opportunity, a venue to gather with me and other representatives from across the college, as well as students, to talk about kind of strategic, big picture things, right? It's a venue to have space together and to share what we think should be happening with the college. So College Council, if you're interested, I've asked the unions to nominate folks. There are 2 seats essentially for every collective bargaining unit. There's also 2 spots for student government. There's 1 spot for police, not because you're less important, but because you have a smaller team, and we know it's hard for you to pull away at times. So talk to your supervisor or your union president or union head, or send a note to PSC president at Prairie State, and we'll start putting the membership together soon. Okay, now. Academic affairs. So if you are a faculty member or part of the Division of Academic Affairs in any way, can you stand up for us so we can recognize who you are? So faculty and Division of Academic Affairs, don't be ashamed. We like you. We love you. There they are. There they are. There you go. Everybody see them? Oh. And that goes far. So we have adjunct instructors, full-time faculty, all right? We have staff supporting this work. Academic deans, yeah? So we appreciate the work that you do. So it's just a lot going on with our academic programs and services. And so I'm gonna rattle off a couple things so you'll know what they are. Our programs within allied health and emergency services are like full, right? Full, yeah, that's worth clapping for, right? That's a big deal. Allied Health and Emergency Services, the new courses, the programs that we have just recently accredited, PTA, our Search Tech program, our dental hygiene, and dental assisting program. These programs are either full, many have waiting lists, right? And that is showing our responsiveness to the workforce and to things that people are trying to engage in. And they're not the only ones doing well by all means, by any means, but it's exciting to see that kind of activity around those programs. There's also been an amazing array of events and community activities that's been happening within our academic affairs and our academic departments. So things like the Healthy Smiles Day in April 2023, where the community came in, fantastic. The English department doing their Building Partnerships mini conference, huge success. Liberal Arts, Social Sciences, Humanities Day, right, in April of 2023. The Jazz Festival, where's Valerie? I saw her somewhere earlier. She may be wandering around here somewhere. Hey, Val, there she is over there. Jazz Fest came back with a vengeance, and I love that. The music department, speaking of music, the beat making boot camp happened. There, I see you back there, Jonathan. There he is. The fire and EMS camp, right? That took place in 2023. The STEM Summer Bridge program that happened in June 2023. CTE, the first annual early childhood education symposium had 200 participants right here in this building, right? That's a big deal. I see you, Dr. Collins, right? These things are happening all over the place, and you just don't know. Sometimes you don't know. We're trying to do our best job to make sure you know, but also want you to seek out the greatness that's happening at Prairie State, right? Workforce development and community education is completely exploding. The numbers that are coming in, the revenue coming in for our workforce programs and corporate education far outpace our estimates, right? They far exceed the money we're looking for expenses, which has not always been the case, right? We're leading the edge on trying to connect with employers coming. So Wind Creek Casino has chosen Prairie State to be the people who train their employees, right, before they even hear. Those kind of things matter, right? Not to mention our Opportunity Works program, our Kids at College program that happened over 2023 with 140 participants, right? These things, yeah, clap for that. These are important things happening, right? So we're really excited about that. Also, this is the second summer we're doing our Summer Bridge program with ECI students. Where's Teresa McCann? Where's she at? There she is. I see you. She's standing by in case she needs. She provided me some IT support earlier, so I appreciate that. I'll send you a little gift card for that. So her program has 44 students here today, right, for this summer rather. And so these things are, again, happening. Things are happening. People are creating, and it's making a big difference, and I appreciate that. Student affairs. If you're part of the Division of Student Affairs and Diversity and Enrollment Service, please stand up. All our Student Affairs Division, stand up. Everybody look around. Attach names to faces. I see you, Miss Marie. I see you. That's my old division, yes. I love you guys. They had this wonderful retreat recently. We're trying to get back to professional development, connecting as a community. Working in higher ed is one of the most amazing things that you can do. You're not running around trying to put out well, you do put out fires, but not real fires, right? Not like, not like the ones that Chad puts out, but you're working with students, you're working with each other. Even on our worst days, it's really kind of okay, right? That's why I chose higher ed. I'm not in the emergency room cutting people open, and you don't want me doing that for sure. It's a great place to work. If we slow down and think about it from across the spectrum of things we could be doing, it is a really cool place to be and work in. And so they had this retreat, and it was awesome, right? I think they got to come together outside of work. We closed some of the offices to let them do that. We didn't used to do that. I reminded folks that I got my hand slapped pretty hard as a vice president for closing the office for an hour. And I said, well, we're not going to do that anymore. I said, I get to make the decision now. So I said, we can do that if it means taking care of our employees and developing your skill set and building connections that will impact the work you do day to day with your students. I want you to be happy, and I want you to be satisfied in your work, because we bring ourselves to work in very unique ways. You can't just show up and do your job and things be okay no matter your attitude. If you're hurting, if something's going on with you, it will trickle down to our students, right? And so I want you to be happy. I want you to be connected, and those kind of things happening make sense. We finally launched our new, what may have been known in the past as kind of a multicultural center. I'm so proud that we have launched our new Pride Center, Peace Center, Pride, Equity, Advocacy, and Cultural Exchange. This is led by its inaugural director, somebody who's known very well at the college, Jenica Rodriguez. Where are you? Can you stand up? Can you wave? There you are. Hey, Jenica, stand up so we can see you. Yeah, y'all know who Jenica is. Yeah. She's the inaugural director. It's something about being inaugural. It's something about being the first. It's important. She's our inaugural director of the Peace Center. And that center will focus our efforts around supporting students around LGBTQ identity, Latinx, African-American males, first-generation students, women, other gender minorities as well. This is going to be an important center, right? And so be on the lookout for more work coming from there. In career services, we launched a new software called Handshake, right? That's connecting us to employers and a network of institutions across the country. Very important work. And it's engaged hundreds of students so far, hundreds of students. We launched an enhanced version of 1 Million Degrees. We are still connected with 1 Million Degrees, but we are making a much more intrusive turn to work with students who are who have some of the largest gaps in achievement and opportunity on our campus. And so we're shifting the focus of 1 Million Degrees. Dr. Little has been working closely with the leadership of 1 Million Degrees to change the model of how we do that. And I am super excited about the outcomes that will yield in retaining students and getting them through. We did have another successful commencement. Students were able to bring so many guests and pack the facility with their family and friends, and it went off without a hitch. It was very, very, very important. More than 100 recruitment fairs and events have been participated in by our PSC team and employees, welcoming new pioneers to the college. We've also added another institution, high school, to our ECI group of high schools. Of course, we had 6 of our schools that were working with us in our district, and we've now added Thornton Fractional as well and an HVAC program there. So again, developing workforce, developing people, students earlier, engaging them earlier in the college process is important. Starting now, I'm happy to announce, after we've some deliberations going on at the cabinet level and with others on campus, a couple of areas are coming back to student affairs. One of those areas, of course, is our faculty counselors. So the transfer and faculty counselor and personal counselor are moving back to student affairs and working within that division. Create some really great synergies there, as it has in the past. And of course, the Student Success Center is also moving back into the Division of Student Affairs and creating some synergies there when it comes to tutoring and support outside the classroom. That's going to be a really great experience, so we're happy about that. We can't talk about student affairs without talking about athletics. Do y'all know we have a national championship team in the house? Anybody know that? Anybody know that? Yeah. Yeah, that's a big deal. Coach, right? Coach, where you at? Where's my coach? Where you at? Yeah, stand up, man. Don't wave. Stand up. Stand up. Y'all trying to be bashful. Come on. Yes, the college's first national championship. That man and his team and his students won that for the college. That matters. Athletics is a vehicle to engage students, to invite them into the college experience. And I'm so proud of our department, our coaches, our students, the administration of athletics. We're so excited about them. Our men's tennis team is also a top 20 team in the nation. And that again matters in engaging students, attracting them to the campus, raising the brand and profile of the college in and around the community. They've held successful summer retreats, right, and summer camps for students. We were not doing these things just a year ago, just 2 years ago. These are new things happening, coming out of the pandemic. This is pioneering the future that we all want. Also, there's some upgrades happening facilities-wise. I'll talk about more on the campus here in a minute. But with athletics, you can kind of see we're trying to brand and help promote athletics and transform into a real department, how it looks. So this is a kind of before shot and then the after shot of kind of that space, right? So you pass by and you kind of see and know that this is where Prairie State's footprint is. And you're going to see those kind of upgrades across the campus. The look and feel of our campus matters. Some of you know I'm big on that. Unless we can talk about it, right? And we can observe and know and we can catch when things aren't quite right. You know what curb appeal means, right? Anybody who's ever sold a house kind of know it don't matter. The interior of the house could be a mess, but your realtor's telling you, make sure you look good on the outside. Why is that any different for our college, right? So how we look, the lighting, the landscaping, those things matter. And I know our people are paying attention, so we're not going to pick on each other, right? When you observe things, talk to your colleagues. I walked in, our facilities guys were out looking at the Scholar Garden and looking at the overgrowth there, and they're on it. They're like, we're gonna get this taken care of, right? Talked to Pam earlier today, we're gonna get this stuff taken care of, right? So we know things are happening, but we also know we need additional team members, and we're working on all of those things. But this is our college together. It does us no good to beat each other up about things. It looks like you wouldn't beat up well, you might beat up your kids a little bit. You wouldn't beat up your kids about not cutting the grass, right? You might say something to them, but it's no point in putting us down. You see things, let's talk to each other. We have processes to report things and to connect with each other. We'll use those, right? But we have an opening next Monday, and we want to make sure we put our best foot forward. You will see other upgrades as the cabinet sits down and looks at the use of some of the funds we have available for capital improvements to really transform this campus over the next 2 years. I could not be more excited about what that's going to look like. So check out these places. Go over to the athletics department, check it out, see for yourself the improvements that they're trying to make in that space. Marcom. So if you're part of the marketing communications apparatus of the college, can you stand up? Let us see you. They all look alike. Look at them. They're all wearing the same shirt. Oh, it's like they know how to market stuff. So you'll see that we've developed the PSC Creative Agency. It's a really cool kind of agency model that they're using to kind of support your efforts. And I am convinced, and I know from faculty in the room and others that it's working, right? That it's starting to take hold with the number of students who are locking into programs, the attendance at events that happen for students and for the community. The marketing office has a new little look as well, so please go up there and check that out if you haven't. Marketing Mondays has been taking place. They're going to continue to do those Marketing Mondays. Take advantage of that. Some of you are still not used to using a marketing agency like this, but this is why this is all strategic, right? My hiring of Jerry Bingham to lead the division and put that position at the cabinet was a strategic move, right? We were talking about this since I started in 19. President Winfrey and I even talked about it. So when I had the opportunity, we said, let's get this going, right? So bringing her in and bringing her team to where it is a great opportunity to make sure we're getting your program's messages out. Now, there's a way to do these things. There's a way to engage. Ask the question, right? And find out ways to engage that team in your work. There is a new marketing campaign kind of underway. So the shirt says, I am Pioneer. Stand up again for me, Alan, and turn around. Y'all, yeah, give him a little turn, give him a little twirl. I am a pioneer, ma'am. Yeah, thank you, Alan. So that kind of I am a pioneer. So you'll see, though, that kind of brand and pushing forward as well. I'm sorry? Somebody say something? Sorry. Website redesign. So I've been promising this new website. I pushed that team they're like, Michael, please, leave me alone. About the website, I know, hush, Christina. So come October, and I'm locking down early October. I've even pushed Jerry on, give me a date so I can tell the people. So October, our website will launch. Now, it's the reason we're waiting until October to do it. We're tidying things up, but also we don't want people who are registering to be mixed up with the new site at midterm. So we're planning it, working with our enrollment services area, and our dean said, if we land it early October, we'll catch them before we start registering for the spring, right? So we want to make sure we time that properly. You saw the great events going on with our homecoming last year. We're going to repeat those events, the food trucks and the camaraderie and the community engagement. Those things are going to be regular staples now, semester to semester within the college. The presence in the media has gone up substantially. And we're also tracking our use of minority vendors and minority advertising in ways that we've never done before. And we're blowing our goals out of the water, right? We have aspirational goals around 25%. We're well above those, right? But we haven't been talking about it. We haven't been tracking it. And so now we are, right? And so as we look at some of those pieces. Parker is our new mascot. Parker isn't here today, but Parker was a new mascot. Again, all these things happened within the last year, folks. And I'm saying this because you forget. We've not been stagnant, right? You have not been stagnant. You've been creating and moving forward. The new athletics logo as well, and again, the presence online has been very important. So let me close out with some of this about facilities. If you're our facilities team members, you're part of our facilities team, can you stand up? Some of them creeped out a minute ago. Facilities. Yeah. They're out working, so they're probably not in here right now, which is fine. So what I want you to understand is that our facility team it works very hard. They do, and they're very small, right? They're small but mighty. So as I work with the new executive director and his teams to think about how to support that and make that better, know that they're doing a lot of work for a campus that has not shrunk in size. It's just gotten bigger, and actually the number of people we have in facilities is smaller than it was when we were a smaller college, right? I'm aware of these things and think about how do we continue to support that team to make sure we're doing what we need to give us that look and feel that we're supposed to have. But some things have been upgraded. The dental lab upgrade, sidewalk and handrail replacement, campus police relocation, amazing new station for them. Please go check that out when you have a chance. Asphalt seal coat replacement, biology lab phase 2, completing now, solar installation, a scholar garden, and of course, in the future, more to come, CDB, HVAC phase 2, our alarm system replacement, our atrium upgrades are taking place now. That's phase 1 that you're seeing now, which will be tidied up before next week. And then you'll see a phase 2 come. We'll replace the floors and the front doors, and it's going to be beautiful, right? It's going to be amazing to see that all take shape. So make sure you keep your mind on that. As promised, it's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock, so I want to close this out here with a special offer, okay? A special offer. So the BMW, anybody like golf? Any golf fans, raise your hand. Oh, good, there's lots of y'all in here. Okay, so the BMW Championship's happening, right? They're using our parking lot. By the way, we got money for that, right? We pulled, yeah, clap for that, yeah. No freebies here, okay, no freebies here. We engaged them about supporting students, and they said, okay, and we're getting that attitude a lot more. As president, I want to be more in the face of potential donors, but also enabling our team. You know, Robert Graham, our executive director of facilities and operations, being able to make that ask and say, hey, how about this? We also got some tickets. And I want to give them to you. So what I'm going to ask, and it's not a whole bunch. I mean, we're talking about, help me out, Robert, 6 per day? 6 per day, starting Wednesday to Sunday, and they're kind of in groups, right? So here's the offer. I can't go into all up here. So if you're interested in taking part in the BMW Championship, the golf tournament going on, I want you to talk to Robert, and I want you to do it by the end of the day, because these may go fast, right? So by the end of the day, I know she's like, can I wait, Pam, wait, just give a chance to, don't, she's standing right beside him like, can we talk? So talk to Robert. Shoot him an email, go up, talk to him. He's gonna try to help us get those tickets used, because I advocated for those, so we want our people to be engaged in that community district event, and you deserve to be able to participate in something like that. So if you wanna go, you'll talk to Robert and we'll figure out how to get you there. And we don't have unlimited tickets, so talk to him and he'll do his best to try to accommodate as many as he can, okay? So let me close by saying this. Thank you. You all are incredible. I mean that. I know we disagree sometimes. We argue and we complain at times. That's okay too. The commitment though is that we're gonna trust one another when it gets hard, right? We're gonna trust one another when we have challenges on the campus, and we're gonna communicate to each other with dignity and respect, and understand that the only way we can resolve some of our differences is to communicate. We're gonna respect the fact that there are people doing things around this campus that sometimes we don't know. There are also things going on in our personal lives that we don't always understand. And our job is to make sure we're our best selves for our students. That's it, that's the bottom line, our students. So anything that affects their success is what I want you thinking about and how to support that. Walking around day to day, speak to each other. If you see each other walking in the hall, you see an unfamiliar face, especially if you're OG at this college, right? If you're old school at the college, I look to you to go to somebody and say, who are you? Like, are you? I'm trying to be nice. I know. Like, if you're like old school, like Elijah, you know, Elijah's old school. Okay, he's a veteran. He's seasoned. Okay, so you go talk to people, smile and say hello to every student on campus. Every student you see on campus, you say hello, engage them. Go out of your way to say hello and speak to them. Those little acts of kindness, you think about it, so all these strategies to retain students, y'all, it ain't that complicated. Be there for students in ways you've never done before, and be there for each other in ways you've never done before. So again, talk to Robert at the end. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful, wonderful semester. Thank you. Oh, one more thing, wait a minute, hold on. Wait. Come on up here. My boss said, hold on for a second, when she told me, hold on.
Okay, we heard the president say to contact Robert, and there is probably going to be a line. We're going to ask that you send an email to Pam St. Jacques. Yes, and we will put all of those emails into a drawing. Into a drawing so that we cannot accuse anybody later of playing favorites with where those tickets went. Just a little order, right? We're trying to mitigate risk because I'll get the complaint later. Pam, do not delete anything, okay? So if you're interested, can you please send your emails to Pam St. Jacques, and then we will print them all and put them in something so that we can have a drawing. VP Wilson.